Welcome back to Honest Thoughts, and today we're talking about one of my favorite Netflix shows, Cobra Kai. I'm really excited. This was one of my favorite series to binge during college, and the new movie is coming out soon, so I thought this was the perfect time to talk about it. If you didn't know, this series is a spin-off of the movies The Karate Kid, classic 80s sports movies. They featured Daniel LaRusso, played by Ralph Macchio, learning karate from a sensei called Mr. Miyagi. He fends off bullies and villains in these movies and wins a bunch of tournaments. There were 5 movies in total, 3 starring Daniel, 1 an attempt at a next Karate Kid, and another remake with Kung Fu and Jackie Chan. So after a while we got a series based on the Karate Kid, but not Daniel LaRusso, but rather Johnny Lawrence, the bully from the first movie played by William Zabka. And this is where you realize this show is completely about him. By the way, if you're new here, I'm Rocko from Reamlore and welcome to the channel. If you're enjoying this video, please consider liking and subscribing. We upload a great new video every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at 3 p.m, so make sure you're subscribed with that bell pressed to get notified when we upload. By the way, apologies, our Teen Titans video is coming out soon. It's just I got caught up with a bunch of other stuff, but that will be coming out very soon. Cobra Kai starts out with Johnny, and we get to see what this loss did to him. His life has gone downhill big time, suffering from depression, he drinks a lot, and he's very much stuck in the 80s. He's also forced to watch his rival Daniel get all the success. He has a beautiful wife, great family, and a thriving business. He is truly the man with everything. Everything changed, however, when Johnny saw a kid getting beat up by bullies and helped him. From there, he reopens his former dojo, Cobra Kai, to teach this kid karate to defend himself, and it lights a fire under both of them. Johnny is a great character. Being stuck in the 80s leads to a lot of great moments in the show, and the series gives Johnny way more depth than he had in the movies. In the films, he's an average 80s bully, but here he's fleshed out as a kind of tragic character. You start to realize he was a good kid back in the 80s, it's just his sensei encouraged his bad behavior. And there's this great scene where he's explaining the events of the first movie from his perspective, and you start to realize maybe Daniel was the real villain. So as I said, Johnny brings back Cobra Kai and starts teaching a whole batch of new Karate Kids karate. With Johnny, everything always has to be badass and macho. So instead of teaching these kids self-defense and balance, he's instead teaching them how to get stronger and build confidence so they can accomplish anything. Meanwhile, Daniel has settled into his new life. He gave up karate, started a car dealership, got a family, and everything was fine until he saw Johnny bring back Cobra Kai, the same dojo that tormented him as a kid and made a bunch of bullies. Daniel starts doing these underhanded things to try to get rid of Cobra Kai, but he realizes it's wrong and instead embraces his karate. He gets back in touch with Miyagi-Do and starts to open a dojo teaching that form of karate, to go head-to-head against Cobra Kai. As for the kids, we have a bunch of new Karate Kids in this series. The first is Miguel, who Johnny saved at the start, and he goes from total nerd to badass through Johnny's teaching. He's a lot like Daniel from the first movie and goes on a similar journey. Johnny and Daniel also have kids at this point who are into karate. Daniel's daughter Sam learned karate as a kid and joined Miyagi-Do when she saw some of the Cobra Kais start to bully kids. And then there's Robbie, Johnny's estranged son, who hates him for being a deadbeat. He ends up working for Daniel and joins his dojo, which creates a lot of drama. He also has a big rivalry with Miguel because they're both in love with Sam, much like how Johnny and Daniel both loved Allie in the first movie. New girl Tori also enters the picture, having relationships with both boys and acts as a rival to Sam, always trying to destroy her. We also have Hawk, named after his mohawk, and he's one of the best new characters. He starts out as this really shy, timid kid getting bullied constantly, but once he joins Cobra Kai, he gets filled with confidence. Too much, however, as he takes his revenge too far and becomes a bully himself. He even bullies his former best friend Dimitri, who joins Miyagi-Do to defend himself. Dimitri and all of his friends, though, make him realize the error of his ways, and he goes back to being a good guy. Those are the main leads, but there are a bunch of other kids too, Riley, Anthony, Kenny, etc. As tradition with the Karate Kid franchise, we have awesome villains. Case in point, the returning John Kreese. The OG villain from the original movie returns better than ever. First, he appears to have changed, wanting a chance at redemption, but it's just him manipulating Johnny again. We soon realize what he wants as he takes over Cobra Kai, stealing it from Johnny to brainwash these kids with the no mercy mindset. We also see a bunch of flashbacks from Kreese in the war, where we can see how he turned into this heartless soldier, in addition to him meeting the other awesome villain of this series, Terry Silver. Returning from Karate Kid 3, Terry Silver has lived a normal life for 30 years forgetting about karate. They explain why he was so crazy in Karate Kid 3, and they brush it off as him just being addicted to cocaine. I think that explanation is hilarious. Still, when Kreese does bring him back into the fold, he slowly turns into that crazy psycho from the third movie that we all know and love. He even turns on Kreese to cement himself as the main villain. It then becomes all-out karate wars between members of Cobra Kai, Miyagi-Do, and Johnny's new dojo, Eagle Fang. Okay, that is just the best name ever. It leads to so many spectacular fights both on and off the mat. If I recounted every amazing fight, we'd be here all day. We even get more Karate Kid alumni returning in this series. Kumiko, Chosen, Mike Barnes, and so many many others. The dramatic and emotional moments are also really great, really pulling at your heartstrings. My all-time favorite season is absolutely the final season, Season 6. This is all about the big finale and largest tournament, the worldwide Sekai Taikai, where our heroes have to fend off Cobra Kai and newcomers Iron Dragons, which were managed by Terry Silver after Kreese took Cobra Kai back. It's the season which brings everything we've seen thus far to a satisfying end. The best moments, the best writing, and the best fights. The greatest of them all being the brawl to end all brawls. I'm telling you right now, you need to watch Cobra Kai. All the awesome stuff I just mentioned, that's not even scratching the surface. There was so much character and story that I didn't even bring up. I didn't even mention the awesome villains we get in Season 6. Wolf, Axel, Zarya, and my favorite, Quan. Do yourself a favor and watch Cobra Kai. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all later.